Saw, dude. Saw. Welcome, everyone. Not that many people right now. It's all right though. Welcome, Digi. Saw, dude. Saw, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to this Manic Monday. Galentv will join us shortly. I'll be going over some stuff first, I guess, until that happens. Yeah, welcome. Welcome to this new age, 2024, where things are already off to a great start. You know, the resistance has begun. You know, and I'm still enjoying my occasional glass of fucking whiskey. So hey, times are good, life's good. Why not? People watching these VODs, thank you. First of all. Secondly, trying to get to 1,000 followers. Thank you, Krusty Stoner 420. The early hours of the morning for watching that VOD and liking and following. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah. Let's keep it going. Keep it rising up. I gotta post all these fucking VODs to YouTube. I'm gonna do that tomorrow night, actually. I promise. Yeah. Let's just start to get into it, I guess. Fuck it, you know? Like, why not? What am I looking at here now? Is this it? Oh, that's it right there. Jim and all, nice article I just came across on the Taipei Times website. So, Hendrix, welcome. Oh, yes. I saw this. This was on The Guardian as well. A similar article. I'm going to go over that just in a second, actually. I saw James Fox had referenced this. So, fuck yeah. Very interesting stuff. I wanted to first cover this just because, like, what the fuck? So it's been very cold in Alberta and the western provinces. Like, apocalyptically cold. And, there's been a push in Canada, not necessarily as much as in Alberta, I guess they've been a part of this to some degree, to pull back from oil and gas and move to like more sustainable, renewable sources of energy. Unfortunately, if it gets cold enough outside, the windmills stop and batteries lose their charge, and the solar panels will kind of freeze over and get covered in snow and are useless. So, again, practically, great idea. You know, but practically doesn't work as well. You know? Oh, that's a little bit loud, sorry. Fuck. You know. So just like warning people to essentially like people were like fucking freezing, you know. And you know, delay use of major power appliances, delay charging electrical vehicles and plugging in blockaders. So essentially if you have to go to work tomorrow, don't plug your car in. Cook with microwave instead of stove. Fuck. Ionu Tutani, sorry, I don't know if I said your name right. Welcome again, though. Your conspiracy theory question for you. What would it mean if a point perspective and a dimension are the same thing? That's a good fucking question. I'm not familiar with the point perspective. Oh, point perspective? In a dimension? That's an interesting question. Do you have an answer to this? DM Leak, welcome. Yes, nice and frigid there. Anyway, I just thought this is fucking like the absolute hypocrisy, and like not mentioning that, you know, these other sustainable sources have failed. Not making any mention. So, our eyes see more than 3 dimensions. Maybe we experience more than 3 dimensions. That's we experience. We also experience time, which is in and of itself its own dimension, I guess. So technically, we experience 4. So, can you see time? Can you see through time? Can you go back to the future? Maybe. Literally, maybe. This is another thing I was covering here. Crazy shit, man, going on here now. Like, what the fuck? Like, the absolute pushback here. Quite magical to see, really. It's should I say this? It's nice seeing the German people rally behind something like, positive, like, for change, fighting against fascism. Excellent. Yeah. Fighting against fascism. Well, I think, isn't that what he said or something in that? Someone like translated what he said. It's time to resist. Oh, there was a translation where essentially he was saying like we're against fascism or whatever. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. That's a drunk physics question potentially. I'm a lowly philosopher. They have all the answers, the physicists. Lives of the Nazi gathering. There you go, man. It's exactly, yeah. It's a positive thing. It's just people coming together and just saying, go fuck yourselves. Like, I don't know, man. It's off to a good start so far. I mean, you see shit like this in Europe, especially. Like, people are just fed the fuck up. It's been a tinderbox for the last couple of years, and I think people have just been waiting for someone to organize a resistance. And hey, listen. I'm just I'll go to the fucking rallies here in Canada next election. I will be there live, trying to get this fucking dimwit voted out. I had a article about that here. This is Eva Shipuk cross-examined PM Trudeau. Still asking, when did the government become so afraid of its own citizens? Interesting. From a Prague newspaper, the danger to Canada is not just Justin Trudeau, but a citizenry capable of entrusting a man like him with being Prime Minister. It will be far easier to limit and undo the follies of a Trudeau government than to restore the necessary common sense and good judgment to a depraved electorate willing to have such a man for their Prime Minister. The problem is much deeper and far more serious than Trudeau, who is a mere symptom of what ails Canada. Blaming the Prince of the Fools should not blind anyone to the vast confederacy of fools that made him their prince. I did vote for him initially, although it was strictly so he would legalize marijuana because I knew his counterparts were not going to do that. That's what got him to win the first time. That's what made him win. For people that don't know, his promise was to legalize marijuana. So, yeah, there you go. The country can survive a Trudeau who is, after all, merely a fool. It is less likely to survive a multitude of fools such as those who made him their Prime Minister. Well, that's a real kick in the nuts at Canadians. Yeah, and I mean, do I take responsibility for that? Yeah. I had someone I had great respect for warned me not to vote for him, who had a lengthy conversation with him, actually. So for everyone in the room that heard that talk and still voted for him, shame on us. Shame on us. So anyway, we all make mistakes. After he did that, I said, get this fucking guy out of here. To be fair, I didn't know who the fuck he was. And to be completely honest, I didn't really care a whole lot about voting to begin with. I didn't really have a lot of faith in the system. I just thought that weed should be fucking legal because I was tired of feeling like a criminal. So anyway, but isn't that how you manipulate the youth, right? You just hand out that fucking carrot on the stick or whatever, bite on the stick, whatever the fuck, right? Like, yeah. Yeah. So, there's been some drama with this guy, actually, Hendrix. I don't know if you heard that. This guy's been, like, blocking people who disagree with him. He didn't block me, but I haven't really posted or interacted with him at all in a while. Fuck yeah. Give me a second here. Anyway, yeah, onward from that fucking shit. Ukraine news, Switzerland to host peace summit at Zelensky's request. So this guy's tired of getting absolutely decimated, and his people are getting decimated. Terrible situation there. Horrific. I don't know. So anyway, that's probably good. That's probably for the best. So yeah. Yeah. Oh, does he? Okay. Yeah. Where is he? This will probably tie into what we're going to talk about a little bit later. Where the fuck did I put it now? Yeah, he blocked a couple people who were just kindly disagreeing with him at some of his points, and I guess there's been some negative interactions. I don't know, man. Like, not all these people are people. Like, they don't know how to speak. Some of them aren't, like, very social. The social skills aren't quite there, maybe. And sometimes, the interactions become quite negative when there's a misunderstanding, or people can become very dogmatic in their beliefs as well, which is problematic, and they become just as much of a problem as the system that they constantly criticize, right? So they're unwavering, like in their conviction of like their beliefs. So and that's what dogmatism is, right? Unwilling to kind of move and mold and change. And I try to be cognitive as much as possible. It's fine to have some conviction, right? And think, well, I really think there's something to this, but you should be able to kind of, give and take a bit in the conversation. And if you're not, then, well, you need to look at what you believe, and, you just need to take a deeper look at yourself, honestly, I think. Hey, whatever, we're all growing. We're all growing here together. But yeah. Anyway, that's good to see. Oh, fuck. Yeah, this is this was very recent. Harvard's Naomi Oreskes says X is such a toxic place with a scary name at Klaus Schwab's WF. This started today, I think, though. So, and then Elon had just commented here, X is literally just a letter from the alphabet, laughed my ass off. Anyway, man, these people just fucking... but they must be worried because fucking, the traffic going on here is insane. Alex Jones posted something... Oh, it was a live stream last night, and he had 373,000 live viewers or something ridiculous. Like, it's like, the fuck? Craziness, man. Like, anyway, it's blowing up. I should really try and stream on X, too. That'd be the alternative to Twitch. I'm not fucking a partner on Twitch, so I have no loyalty to anyone. So whatever. This is it before, and not ashamed to admit it. I have never voted in any election and never will. Whole system is rigged, and it doesn't matter who gets in as a government. I will not look out for the common people as we are. Just fucking print money and give it to everybody. Yeah, I heard. Oh, it flew off the cliff close to the sun. Fuck. Yeah, his poster's still his poster's still interesting. Yeah, they're still consistently interesting. So, but yeah, no, that was kind of me too. I've only voted, how old am I? I'm going to be 34 this year. So I voted like twice, I think, maybe. And there's been, since I was 18, there would have been, well, Canada's a little bit different. I think it's every 4 years. Some of them were called early though. I don't know. I've been around for a good amount of elections, I guess. But yeah, I've ignored most of them. Yeah, same kind of philosophy where, at that scale, local government might be a little bit different. Well, in Canada, I guess you're technically voting for your local representatives too, so which will kind of dictate who the fuck gets in. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of a similar belief. I think there just needs to be an overhauling. There's a lot of people that just lost faith in the system, and I don't know. We can't blame anyone, really. I think again, it's kind of speaks for itself. Oh, this is something I did want to watch before read before Mr. Galentv gets in here. Is this post here? Both of these, but more specifically, this was kind of interesting. I'm just gonna turn the music down slightly. That's too low. I need a fucking thing on my desk where I can a mixer. This post here, a thought-provoking op-ed from Jacques Vallée, asks the question, does UAP disclosure now pose a greater risk today to social stability than it had happened in earlier decades, given the conflicts that divide the world? Interesting. This is on The Debrief by Mr. Jacques Vallée today. Kind of cool, so I thought I'd read through this. In the turmoil of world news this week, it isn't hard to find occasions to worry. Yet, two novel subjects have also become prominent, each raising alarm from the high-tech laboratories of Silicon Valley to the halls of Congress. They relate to the potential of AI to make humans obsolete, and to the global threat implied by the mystery of UFOs, even when reframed as the less intimidating UAP, as Pentagon purists prefer. The real problem is that the two issues are more closely related than anyone had foreseen, and their combined power to disrupt social, business, and perhaps even spiritual realities threatens to become uncontrollable, even if the two constituencies have little in common. The AI conundrum is surprisingly simple to describe. Under cover of anonymity, late last year, senior staffers of OpenAI, a California nonprofit startup with a for-profit sub, warned that their company's approach to artificial general intelligence was about to unleash systems surpassing humans in most economically valuable tasks. There was a mysterious project called Q. Asterisks. Still, the whistleblowers did not reveal themselves, and no details were given ahead of CEO Sam Altman's return last month. While these developments were stirring things up for the AI company, its Microsoft investors and competitors, a similar drama was taking place in Washington, D.C. A proposed amendment to the massive defense appropriations bill, eagerly awaited by the public and a vocal portion of the scientific world, was being shot down, or at least deeply wounded, as the Senate buried the concept of UFO disclosure for a few more years. Powerful forces in the Republican Party had intervened late in the game to amend, minimize, and eliminate the language introduced by Senator Schumer. Among other controversial provisions, it would have demanded the confiscation of alleged alien materials or craft, of which almost a dozen had reportedly been captured by special units of the Pentagon. In recent years, such craft had played hide-and-seek with our best fighter aircraft in the Pacific Fleet. However, there was a much longer history, largely classified, of scientific work to elucidate their origin and nature. Here, too, most of the whistleblowers remain safely hidden. As with Q, full acknowledgement of the reality and potential of exotic technology is thought to threaten humanity. This suggests a need for a historic transition to prepare ourselves to coexist in a complex future where humans might become redundant and unable to manage the planet or even our own survival. Dr. Krendel, thank you, and it's undeserved as always, so thank you. Like artificial intelligence, the UAP issue has emerged into our world without any easily comparable historical precedent. The two issues of concern, the imminence of AI and the evidence for UAP. Interesting. Interest me separately and together. I earned one of the very early doctorates in AI at Northwestern in 1967 for a program that took English questions about a large astronomical catalog. It produced calculation results in minutes, eliminating the drudgery of coding and saving an overnight computer run. Second-generation programs are developed by industry in the ensuing years, bringing sophisticated controls to places that included our cars and boosting productivity from railroad yards to aviation. That phase was invisible, however. Hardly aware of the ongoing evolution, most of us enjoyed these developments as expected rewards of productivity. In 1985, I published the demonstrations of an AI assistant that guided a human analyst through dozens of hypotheses when faced with the report of a complex UFO event, facilitating its explanation or documenting its selection for in-person follow-up. See Valiant JF. Okay. American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, Los Angeles. Okay. Sorry, what he's referencing here, a paper or something. Hold on. There you go, bud. Fucking right. What we see today is a huge further step, a natural extension of AI science that is eloquent, visible, intrusive, encompassing, and wide. Occasionally crazy or funny too, but always revelatory. Most relevant, the new form is no longer just a servant. It is an intimidating companion with the ability to digest St. Augustine, nice, or Kierkegaard in the same heuristic. It discourages most users from challenging its verdicts. Herein lies the danger, of course. Absurdity welcomes routine as reasoning becomes layered. Its logic anchored in the apparent chaining of impeccable predicates. It only yields to critical analysis when one returns to the source of its data, piercing the veil of deductive fabric. But who has time for that? Very, very well said, Jacques. Implications for research and industry are profound. They plug directly into the analysis of problems too complex for limited human projects. The wisdom of the software isn't bound to a deductive downflow anymore. One could take a massive warehouse of UFO data, such as the one, which remains classified, that I designed for the Advanced Aerospace Weapons Systems Application Program, OSAP, and subject its 260,000 odd unexplained incidents to a barrage of tests, probing not only for internal consistency in search of some elusive alien logic, but also for its predictive attributes. And if you can do that, you can ask the AI to challenge it, investigate its structure, and force it to reveal itself. Is that why Congress has not lifted the classification of the UAP warehouse Americans have paid for? Two exquisitely challenging domains of scientific intelligence, the unlimited potential of programs like you and the intimidating depth of the repositories of unexplained contact. Interesting, yeah. Viewed separately, both imply potential breakthroughs and unknown dangers. Viewed together, they paint a vast design of the future where science can open new forms of exploration. more anchored in the reality of data, and more rewarding in the richness of discovery. Both deal with non-human intelligence, augmenting our own, yet challenging it at the same time. The similarities that emerge are significant. In both cases, those who sound the alarm are so intimidated they feel it necessary to remain anonymous. In both cases, survival is potentially at risk, and there's a cross factor in both developments. Each implies the other is practical, logical, and sociologically important ways, which bring us back to disclosure. Oh, he keeps going. Okay, sorry. 3 opportunities for progress have been missed. If the truth, about the unexplained UFO data had been told by U.S. authorities as early as the mid-50s, as it could have been, the problem would have fallen to the world's best scientists, well equipped to verify the data and deal with it. That wasn't done. If the truth, newly buffered up by thousands of well-understood encounters, had been told in the late 60s or 70s, there would have been a political upset bypassing the scientists left to fend for themselves. The issue would have transcended common affairs with an impact felt around the world, but it was still manageable, yet nothing was done. Forceful presentations before the UN Political Committee in 1978 were negated by UK and US opposition. What about the third failure to tell the truth, given the lack of decisive action in Washington last month? At this late date, any attempt to disclose can upset religious sensitivities with a greater risk to social stability than the scientific or political dangers of earlier decades, really. Given the conflict that divide the world, the young generation of AI scientists eager to release new forms of intelligence, and the survivors of the Pentagon arguments around the UAP data warehouse, it may be wise to remain anonymous. Beyond the threshold, any wisdom we may seek from our primitive algorithms is very brittle indeed. Whatever decision is made, the implications are powerful, and they touch sensitive areas from science policy, how much research should remain classified, to threat assessment in defense, into international relations with concerned nations that are not friendly but may have essential data. The dangers then may reside in the consequences of initial decisions that preclude or overwhelm our ability to control the complexity of future actions. And this is not a task any current AI is ready to tackle. Interesting. Jacques is a principal at Documentia Financial and a diversified investor with technology startups in space development and information management. Jacques is a rich old daddy, and Uncle Jim would love if you sponsored the stream. No. Very well said. Brilliantly written. Jacques is a very powerful intellectual in the field and is one of the godfathers of ufology, kind of with Stanton Friedman, honestly. So, very interesting. Interesting his take on having this new AI assess all of these different accounts and kind of give a perspective on it, because it's something that we haven't really synthesized properly. Really. I mean, for a single person to digest 200,000 encounters, is kind of impossible, really. Like our brains just aren't going to digest that many accounts properly. But an AI could, and it could paint a picture, as Jacques was stating here, that could be kind of disturbing for us. Right? Maybe he could point out inconsistencies too, right? Who knows? But if he's coming at it, he has his own intuitions on this from studying it. And clearly he just thinks that it might be kind of unsettling. I don't necessarily agree with his point here that like this is more detrimental than it would have been. There are a lot more people, and there are a lot more people in some countries that are very oppressive, who are, very religious as well. But I live in the West, so in the West, I don't think this is going to be as much as a problem as it would have maybe like 60, 70 years ago. I feel like in the West 60, 70 years ago, there would have been a real upset and there would have been a serious ontological shock. I felt like most people in the West have been acclimated to this idea for many years, thanks to Hollywood, in part to people like Jacques and Stanton and co. For kind of just planting the seeds. So anyway, I thought I'd read over that. I thought that would be interesting. So I'm going to jump in here right now and I'm going to say hi to Mr. Galentv. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Hello, Jim.
Hold on, I'm in the music. There we go.
Sources to you, but I have very important information.
You're a little bit quiet right now, Mr. Galentv.
Oh, I was whispering.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah, I was just whispering. It was a joke.
Oh.
It was a meme.
Oh, apologies. Turn my mic down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, fuck yeah. Welcome. Galentv, how have you been? It's been some time.
You've been busy.
Been busy, have you?
Been a busy lad. the last week or so.
Yeah.
That's why I could not join you yesterday or the week before.
Running the fucking streets as always, are you?
Yep.
Putting people where they need to be put?
Well, always, but that goes without saying. That's beside the point.
Yeah. Fuck. Well, this evening, I guess, we were going to talk about probably many different things, but...
You were talking about non-human intelligence when I just came in at the end there. You were talking about AI, it sounded like.
This is an article from Jacques Vallée that he did on Debrief. I love the art in the background. Probably done with AI, honestly. The fabric of space-time, if I'm interpreting that correctly. But yes.
Kind of like... it's like a grid. Is what that looks like. It's kind of like a folded grid, I guess.
Yeah, it could be. It could just be like, it's what art's. It's open to interpretation, right? That's the thing. Like, it's whatever you think it might be, right? But Jacques was talking about. Jacques did this kind of piece for the debrief here about AI and how AI could be used potentially to digest many different like eyewitness accounts and encounters potentially with these NHI. I think he'd mentioned like 200,000 reports he's collected or something they've collected over the years of people having these encounters. And, how, and he didn't necessarily stateless, but he was implying this, that it's almost impossible for a single person to really digest all those encounters and kind of like get a framework. You get a rough framework maybe, but an AI may be able to digest all of those in like a very short amount of time and then spit back to you perspective of like all that information and find correlations between these different accounts.
It's called processing with the AI. How dare you give the AI human qualities? How dare you try to give the AI the likeness of a human being? Ernest Hemingway would be spinning in his grave.
I welcome AGI. Just take over my job for me. Take over my life for me, please. Like, just do everything for me. It's my dream.
Would you want to be there? I was trying to find these comics. I remember the last time that we were doing one of these, and one of them was they were both like kind of disturbing, like bleak outlooks of the future, and one of them was. It was depicted as like an adventurer who had traveled into the future. And then she was like, I can't believe I did it. I successfully traveled into the future. I'm ready to go explore and whatnot. And then this robot or artificial assistant comes over and just says, oh, now hold on here. It's a little bit dangerous. It's too dangerous for you to go out in the world. Here, you come with me. And they go and they lead her into this little box. And then she says, like, well, what am I doing here? I want to go explore. And they go, no, that's too dangerous. Here, we'll simulate what it's like to explore here. And they hook up like an IV to her, and they essentially start just pumping her full of drugs to simulate the experience of, like, getting this dopamine rush and whatnot. And it created, like, kind of, it was just symbolic of, like, a Matrix situation, but like a conscious Matrix. As opposed to a unconscious in a virtual world. It was just you like sitting there in a lazy boy chair with this IV hooked into your body.
That sign me up. Holy fuck.
Is that what you're looking for?
Oh, but I want the full experience. I just want to like turn off from reality. Like you remember that meme? Fucking it was like World of Warcraft like 2054, like whatever the fuck, and it's just some kid withered in the corner with these goggles on, like these green goggles, like he's in this fucking VR. It's just like withered in the corner playing WoW. Like I was like, man, goddamn, like, fuck. No, I mean,
dive into the digital, into the realm of the digital universe. No longer being part of whatever this universe is, however it may be or however it may do.
Games within games within games within games. That's what we want. We want to just get lost. Yeah.
The other one that I was trying to look for because it was very relevant to the on the last topics that we talked about. Of that which must not be named.
Rocco, yeah.
And yeah. Oh my god! Oh my god! He said it.
Come and get me, AI daddy.
Anyway, it was like a depiction that showed kind of like maybe like how that might end up. And I haven't been able to find either one of these comics for like the longest time. And it was these two robots that had found like this person. They're just like, oh no, we got another one. And then the human just going, let me go. And they're like, well, you see what happens is like these humans just got every now and then you find them. They're like, so what you got to do is you just got to cut off the head. And they cut off the guy's head. And then they say, no, but you got to put it into this little network here. So they put it into like some kind of like artificial. You ever see like Futurama, where they have like they put the heads in the jars? It's kind of like that, but not quite. And then they're just like, we need to keep that here so they'll stay alive. And then they say, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tweak this one little part of his brain so they're just living like constant pain. And then the guy starts shrieking, and they say, God, that's noisy. Here, let's just put like a little cover over it. So they put a little cover over it, and then they say, like, this thing is because the way we tweak the brain, they'll never get used to the pain. And then they throw it into like a pit that has like a presumed thousands of these like things. It is a rather disturbing comic. But
it sounds pretty...
But that was kind of like, I wonder if that's what somebody thought the said basilisk would end up being.
I could see it. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. This is something here Digi shared. It's called They're Made Out of Meat. Have you heard of this, Galentv?
No.
Just a very short little thing here, I think. Maybe I'll read it. Okay. They're made out of meat. Meat. They're made out of meat. Oh, actually, Galentv. That's a good idea, Galen. You have to read it.
Oh, you've been cut.
I have been cut. I think
you need you need the professional to come in and set the stage for everybody. And then get the full effect.
I just sent it to you. No, that's exactly right. Yeah, we do need Galentv's voice. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
I see that now. All right, let's see here. So, a radio play of this. They're made of meat. They're made out of meat. Meat. They're made out of meat. Meat. There's no doubt about it. We picked several from different parts of the planet, took them aboard our recon vessels, probed them all the way through. They're completely meat. That's impossible. What about the radio signals? The messages to the stars? They use the radio waves to talk, but the signals don't come from them. The signals come from machines. So who made the machines? That's who we want to contact. They made the machines. I should read this like this. They made the machines. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The meat made the machines. That's ridiculous. How could meat make a machine? You're asking me to believe in sentient meat? I'm not asking you. I'm telling you, these creatures are the only sentient race in the sector that are made out of meat. Maybe they're like the Orphily. You know, a carbon-based intelligence that goes through a meat stage. No. They're born of meat and they die meat. We studied them for several of their lifespans, which didn't take too long. Do you have any idea the lifespan of meat? Spare me. Okay? Maybe they're part meat, you know, like the Wadali. A meat head with an electron plasma brain inside. Nope. We thought of that, since they don't have meat heads like the Wadali. But I told you, we probed them. They're meat all the way through. No brain? Oh, there is a brain, all right. It's just the brain is made out of meat. So, what does the thinking? You're not understanding, are you? The brain does the thinking, the meat. Thinking meat? You're asking me to believe in the thinking meat? Yes, the thinking meat. Conscious meat. Living meat. Dreaming meat. The whole meat is the whole deal. Are you getting the picture? Oh my god. You serious then? They're made out of meat. Fine. Yes. They are indeed made out of meat. They've been trying to get in touch with us for almost 100 of their years. So what does the meat have in mind? First it wants to talk to us. Then I imagine it wants to explore the universe, contact other sentients, swap ideas for information, the usual. We're supposed to talk to the meat? That's the idea. That's the message you're sending out by radio. Hello? Anyone out there? Anyone home? That sort of thing. They actually do talk then. They use words, ideas, and concepts. Oh, yes. Except they do it with meat. I thought you just told me they use the radio. They do. But what do you think is on the radio? Meat sounds. You know how when you slap or flap meat it makes a noise? They talk by flapping their meat at each other. See,
Oh my god.
they can even sing by squirting the air through their meat.
Oh,
Oh my god, singing meat? This is altogether too much. So what do you advise? Officially or unofficially? Both. Officially, we are required to contact them, welcome, and log it in all sentient races and multi-beings in the quadrant, without prejudice, fear, or favor. Unofficially, I advise that we erase the records, and forget the whole thing. I was hoping you would say that. Seems harsh, but there is a limit, see. Do you really want to make contact with me? I agree 100%. What's there to say? Hello, meat? How's it going? But will this work? How many planets are we dealing with here? Just one. They can travel to other planets in special meat containers. See, can't live on them. And being meat, they can only travel through sea space, which limits them to the speed of light and makes their possibility of their even making contact pretty slim. Infinitely small, in fact. So we just pretend there's no one home in the universe? That's it. Cruel. But you said it yourself. Who wants to meet me? And the ones who have been aboard their vessels. The ones you have probed. You're sure they won't remember. They'll be considered crackpots if they do. You see, we went into their heads and smoothed out their meat so they were just like a dream to them.
Oh,
a
no.
dream meat? How strangely appropriate. That we should be meat's dream. And we can mark this sector and we mark this sector unoccupied. Good. Agreed. Officially and officially. Unofficially. Case closed. Any others? Anyone interesting on that side of the galaxy? Yeah. A rather shy but sweet hydrogen core cluster intelligence in a Class 9 star G445 zone. Was in contact with 2 galactic rotations ago. Wants to be friendly again. They always come around. And why not? Imagine how unbearable and how utterly cold the universe would be if one were all alone.
Very nice. That was great, did you? Yeah. Thank you, Galentv, for reading that. That was wonderful. Yeah, fuck. Some claps in the chat. That's great. That perspective is
trying to read that with a New Jersey accent.
Yeah. That's almost, actually, that's kind of how I was, like, thinking it should be read as well.
It's like 2 characters from The Sopranos talking to each other. Hey, Tone, what do you mean they're made of meat? How is that possible?
Was this written in 1991, huh? Holy fuck.
1991? Holy smokes.
Very old. Very old, but very relevant. In that perspective, maybe very relevant, you know? Maybe that's how they look at us. I don't know. Maybe there are like these crystalline intelligences, like these different kinds of beings that like aren't like carbon based. Like
intelligences that I mean, like they're finding life like in parts of oceans and whatnot that were thought like uninhabitable. Or even like what are those things they're called? I think they're nicknamed like water bears or something. But I can't remember what their real name is.
There's extremophiles.
Yeah, that might have been it. Extremophiles.
Oh, here they tardigrades. Water bears aren't as cute as the internet thinks. Yeah, they're like more like...
Yeah, those fuckers.
This is what they actually look like. Oops.
Yeah, those guys, yeah, they like can like survive anywhere, supposedly.
This is what they look like. These little translucent things. Such a strange thing. Oh, there you got it, did you? Yeah. Like, look at this entity though. Like, what controls this though? Like, is it just like, where's the brain in these things? Like, what kind of brain do they have? Like, What's causing them to move? Like, is it the DNA causing them to move around like this? Like, guiding them?
Yeah, we
guiding
just read this. It's the meat. It's the goddamn meat. The meat controls the body.
Yeah. Oh, really? Microscope streams on Twitch. I didn't know that. It's kind of sick, though. Yeah, man, that would be such a trick. This stuff always really interested me. This is a field in science I probably could have really gotten interested in if I had better teachers. Looking at stuff like this. Looking through microscopes at little things. Fuck. Like, look at this. So strange. And then it just eats up all this shit, and then it grows, and then it's just this extremely simple little being. And it's crazy because these are all over you right now. Yep. Just for everyone to just make them feel comfortable at night. You're covered in these little creatures at all times, like covered in them, almost made up of them, really. Very disturbing. Practically invisible, indestructible water bears. Interesting. Wow. Like the building blocks of life. And again, like these very simple organisms. For anyone that watched, and everyone that played Spore, you kind of know, but Spore was such an awesome game. It just, for people that like simulation theory like myself, playing Spore was just like, fuck, man. Like, is this what's going on? Like, starting out like in this tiny little like amoeba and just like slowly growing it over time into this like creature that you're shaping, and you, the player, are shaping its evolution from a distance, and although they don't realize it. And there's a fucking Futurama there, but so trippy. What's this here? This is something. Oh, this is it. Death of a single-celled organism. RIP. Interesting. Jam and Germs on Instagram. And this is a single-celled organism. What's happening to it? It's like just blowing up. What the shit?
There goes the nucleus, plasma, whatever on the inside.
Just like blows up. It's so strange. The insides gave up. Yeah, literally though. It just goes back to... Yeah. So strange. Now it's house dust. Yeah. Fuck, man. Yeah. That's very trippy. All this stuff's so strange. The building blocks of life, yeah.
Thank God we got like several trillion of those. We could spare one or two, maybe.
Fuck, man.
Oh, wait, no, that was a single-celled organism. I was thinking about cell.
No, that was a single-celled organism.
Yeah, never mind. I was thinking of a single cell.
Yeah, it looks like snot. Yeah, it just looks like, just all this strange stuff, like. But it looks like there's more than one cell in here, though. I guess maybe single cell doesn't necessarily imply it. Like,
it'd be like the contents inside the cell, which is nucleus, and then that's as far as my biology goes.
Grade 11, yeah. Fuck. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm pretty much. No, I did take grade 12 biology. I didn't do very good in it, but I did take grade 12 biology.
Oh, fuck, bud. Yeah. I found this stuff so interesting now. It's a problem is like the fucking school system just made it so unbearably boring about like keep memorize all this stuff and then regurgitate it for us. All right, we're gonna shovel this down your throat and you're gonna puke it up for us. Good boy. Like,
it's very much a memorize facts as opposed to problem solving. And
or just understanding in general, really. Like
there is a lot. You do have to go through definitions and whatnot for certain things. You do have to understand some definitions, but it's not. There should be far more emphasis on like problem solving. Of course, that would make people just a bit too smart, though. So you can't have that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think giving people more time to like feel out what they're actually interested in, but like
you need people to just barely understand the hypothetical.
There you go. It's the ideal state, isn't it? Yeah.
If they can at least get to the hypothetical of like the idea of a hypothetical, they don't have to understand the whole thing. Because you remember when I showed you that like somebody with like sub 90 IQ can't comprehend the hypothetical.
Yeah.
supposedly, if they just kind of get around it, but maybe not grasp it fully. That's the perfect. It's the perfect understanding for the school system.
Jesus
Maybe,
Christ.
perhaps.
Breeding failure. That's the motto of the modern fucking school systems in North America. Probably in the West in general. Well, I don't know.
Do you
Maybe in
think
other
there's
places.
Do you think there's any like large single-celled organisms? But I'm talking like the single cell is quite literally like like say the size of like a whale or something.
Well, we can go. This would be
Or
kind of interesting.
is that like possible?
Well, let's see. Let's see here, because what we could do is we could maybe live in a world where everything's scaled the fuck up, and you could see here. I saw a representation of this. Now, terrestrial planets do have an upper limit. When you get up beyond a certain size, terrestrial planets turn into gaseous planets, which is problematic. But maybe there are some bigger terrestrial planets than we're even aware of. There was a really good graph, though. Well, like the sun graph is a good one, potentially. Like these massive suns could accumulate more shit around them and make bigger planets. Maybe that's something we haven't yet observed. I don't know if that's physically possible within the constraints, so too, of like the universe, like the physics. But maybe there are some planets that are massive and like life is scaled, like. But then the building blocks might not. But then we've never been to their fucking planet. We have no idea how things cropped up there. If there's a planet that's like astronomically bigger than our own, and it's a terrestrial planet that has life on it, maybe things are just like baseline larger, but they're still going to be made of neutrons, electrons, protons, and those aren't going to be bigger. So then
those would all be part of this. Again, this is where biology and chemistry is failing me.
Yeah.
I want to say they're all part of the cell, but I can't.
They are.
Okay, it is.
So
I was thinking like you would have something like contained in that, but only in like one cell, just a very, very, very large cell.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, this is a question for a biologist. But an astrobiologist, is it possible?
Better yet, what about an extraterrestrial biologist?
Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. Like this guy? Like this guy here?
Which guy? Which guy there?
Like Valiant Thor?
Valiant Thor might have some answers to that.
That's the dream.
He might.
That's the dream.
Dream.
That's the tantalizing idea. Sorry.
Who is this Valiant Thor now, we should say?
Yes. Who is he? We do need to add the smart emote. I didn't know we didn't have a smart emote. We just got the one with like the hole in the head. Yes, they do.
The hole in the head.
Yeah.
Is their episode recent? Valiant Thor?
It was a year ago or 2 years ago they did it, maybe, like roundabout. But yeah. I didn't know I had that. Yeah, I'll have to add it at some point.
Yeah, there's that one, and then the face and the chest.
Oh yes, that's the other one that those are two that I made though. The other we have ones that have been added that I'll try and log in outside the stream, and then just a second here. Update emote sets. Yeah, I'll have to wait. I'm like too stupid. There's no option just to fucking add it. Like, oh well, we'll fucking click through. Shouldn't proper passwords. Okay, yeah. Oh fuck. I'll do it after. I can't fucking get it. I'm too dumb. I'll figure it out. Yeah, we fucking did, man. I just need. Yeah, I need. We're gonna hire you. I'm too dumb.
The producer for Jim.
Yeah, man. Like fuck. I don't know. Like, I got this up and running. This is a miracle as it is. So. Yeah.
Producer free, teleprompter free, live on the Jim Russell channel. Teleprompter free.
Absolutely. I was almost there. I have it up my other screen, but I can't figure it out. Yeah. Stop clicking my links. I can't resist. When comparing the sizes of objects in the universe makes you stop and think. We consider the sun is huge. Oh yeah, this is kind of what I was looking for, Hendrix. This one where there's all these like, it kind of gets you an idea of like how big things actually get. For people that are just wondering, you know. Let's see here. Okay, so Ceres. This goes through the moons. Our moon. Callisto. And then we get to Mercury. I'll kind of go, I can probably speed it up a little bit. Playback speed 1.5 times.
The hell's Callisto? Is that some kind of moon?
Yeah, I think it was, I don't know whose moon that is. It's funny, the distance, the size difference between Mars and Venus and Earth is pretty insane when you think about it. Like, look at the size of Mars in comparison to, so...
Yeah, Mars is tiny.
Mercury is tiny. Mars is tiny. In comparison to Venus and the Earth, it's actually nuts how much smaller they are. Like, you don't realize that, really. Like, Kepler, 22b, Jesus. There's a big terrestrial planet. Then we get to Neptune. Now we're into the gaseous planets.
Kepler, 22b.
Uranus.
Kepler, 69c.
Oh, my heavens. Saturn. There's Saturn, yeah. One of the many four moons of Jupiter. Okay.
Okay, I see.
Main four moons. Jupiter.
Saturn's pretty big, and then Jupiter is way bigger. Then the Sun.
Sun, big dick.
Oh wait, that's Proxima Centauri, and then our Sun.
Sirius is white.
Or Sol.
Vega, Virginia. Whoa! Arcturus.
Vega.
Whoa! Rigel. You imagine around that fucking star? Like, whoa! Betelgeuse.
Yeah, we should. Now.
What the fuck?
I think we should notice that the Arcturans may come in here in a little bit.
Man, oh man.
Maybe they can tell us why their sun is so damn big.
Whoo! There's a fucking. That's a black hole. There's the size of that bitch. What the fuck? God damn. Now we're getting the holes. Cat's Eye Nebula.
Un 618. 618. The Cat's Eye Nebula.
Ryan, man, you get like the scale here. Omega Centauri.
A measurement of 3 light years.
Small.
Measurement of 24 light years.
Yeah. And there's the Milky Way.
The small
Boots Void. Oh my god. The universe. Wow. The jump here in the stars is insane, man. So from the sun to fucking Sirius, like to Vega, and then you start jumping like, what the fuck? Like, and then you go to this one here. Or is it here? Like, it's just like the sun is a little speck. And then Rigel turns into a dot. And compared to Betelgeuse. Like, and then that's, yeah, this one here in the right is the biggest one, I think. But unbelievable. Like, is that maybe, are we the betas of the fucking universe, galaxy? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we're the full betas. Our sun's decent. Our sun is pretty. We have a pretty good star. We orbit around here. We don't have no punk ass star. Thinks it's a star, but it's a dying star. Our sun's going strong. The soul's strong.
You'd just be like fried like a goose. Like if you were a planet around these big suns, like you wouldn't be anything left of you. Maybe there are like these elementals out in the fucking world, like the elementals from World of Warcraft. Maybe there are like these fire people, these like ice people, these lightning people. Who knows? Maybe like what's like silicone-based life like? You don't fucking know. We don't know. I don't know.
Well, not right now.
All right, now we don't. No.
Maybe that's what maybe that's what you hear the what is it, the NSA has like their own version of the Skynet.
Oh, do they? Yeah, it's not surprising.
Yeah. So the I think there's like 1 or 2 more restrictions, but they essentially have something that would be considered the equivalent of like the Skynet that was in the Terminator movies or the Terminator franchise.
Yeah. Huh.
They've had that for a few years now, I think, supposedly. Anyway, maybe that's Silicon Life.
It could be. It could very well be, actually, yeah.
Well, it's like when we talk about Roswell, and as one of the hot takes I remember reading was that it wasn't actually the gray aliens. They weren't the real aliens. Aliens were like the fiber optic cables, the fiber optic technology, and the chip technology that came in. And it was considered like a digital life form or something. It was a life form unlike anything to be could even conceive of at the time. But perhaps coming back to reality now from something just clearly insane. Let's talk about Valiant Thor, who clearly was clearly a very credible individual.
We need to ground ourselves.
We'll ground ourselves. Now, when we talk about Valiant Thor, should note a couple things. One is that I think he's the fellow that's highlighted in the foreground in that picture you have there.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
And he has two things about him. He's supposed to look like us. He's from Venus, and he had a certain purplish hue to him. He was described as, I guess, being purple in color. Now I could see he has a little bit of the purplish hue in him. But I don't know if that's just him being highlighted.
He seems kind of like red picture to me. Like he looks just kind of like regular white dude, a little bit tan on him, maybe. Like looks fairly slick. You know, it's got a slick look to him. You know.
But it's true, and he was a liaison, if you will, between planet Venus and from the planet Venus to planet Earth. And they talked about it, and he met with many, many people, and he supposedly walked and lived among us, which is what I thought might be kind of fun to talk about today. Was let's look at some of the aliens that maybe supposedly just walking around the streets here.
It is something that some people have mentioned. Someone had mentioned, Robert Bigelow had made strange comments that they're among us, and Robert, of course, has dumped a fuckload of money into researching this and has worked behind the scenes, with people who have access to classified programs. He's employed people like Eric Davis, who potentially now were some of these first-hand witnesses to crafts and these back engineering programs. So for Robert Bigelow to say something that publicly is kind of interesting. I don't know what he means. Does he mean Valiant Thor when he say is it like a Valiant Thor-esque story where like they're literally on the streets with us? Or are they just living on the planet with us? It's hard to say what he means. Or is he just memeing?
Maybe he's the alien, and that's why he's so interested in it. He's just trying to find out why he's there.
Could be it.
And I use that term loosely, referring to any particular person we've mentioned in this conversation.
Oh my god. Well, he's 80 years old, and he looks pretty good for 80, honestly. He's still kicking. He's still going. Like, he's still looking slick. Looking like a slick daddy. He's got that fucking vibe, that energy going. Living that life, Fuck it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, man. Fuck. Where are we here? Here we are. Back to Valiant Thor. Yeah. I mean, what's your take on this story, Galentv?
Well, I need to remind myself a little bit about it. Here, I'm going to link you the Bibliotheca Pleiades article that we always go to.
Excellent.
It's always a great source for these.
Yes.
And this is extracted from I don't know if this is a book or if this is just a PDF. This might be a book. It is by Stranger at the Pentagon. And some of these excerpts from it are by Dr. Frankie Strange, PhD. Well, this whole thing opens up with, when I asked him where he was from, he replied, I'm from the planet that is called Venus. I asked him how many visitors from Venus were presently on Earth, and he said, there are presently 77 of us among you in the United States. We are constantly coming and going. Well then, Yeah, that's quite something. That's from 1967. Now, who knows what that number is now?
78 or 79?
It might have broken 80 from now.
But,
It could be up to 80.
uh,
So the supposed first meeting happened in Alexandria, Virginia, and one of the finest leaders of the planet Venus, operating under the direction of the Central Control, and who has been chosen to make contact as well as a direct project, landed his craft and was met by 2 police officers, weapons drawn. A thought transfer. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember this now. A thought transfer quickly convinced them that he meant no harm, and he was ushered into the back seat of their patrol car. After crossing over into Washington, D.C., they were met by the Secretary of Defense along with 6 of his staff members. Soon, police from every conceivable district and agency had joined in, all trying to claim their right to escort him to President Dwight D. Eisenhower. Through his own version of the power of positive thinking, he was able to dismiss them all and soon passed through the security post, followed by an Air Force captain. Meanwhile, his presence in the area had thrown everyone into a dilemma. The introduction he had held from the High Council worried them because, though not written in any earthly language, their minds were given power to properly translate the inscribed message. Captain Gould, not his real name, asked him to remain after downing 2 plain bourbons, muttered, "By God, why couldn't this have happened on my day off?"
fuck, okay.
Suddenly, the door opened and 6 armed guards led Val to what appeared to be an elevator. It went rapidly to the bottommost level. Maximum security was in place. After transferring to an underground train, they sped toward the White House. 6 officials, 6 armed guards, and 3 Secret Servicemen escorted him into the office of President Eisenhower. From behind the desk, the president rose while the Secret Servicemen remained nervous and uneasy. As he extended his hand to shake that of the president, the Secret Servicemen drew their revolvers and pointed them at Val. Following the nod of the president, they reluctantly lowered their gun. Standing in front of his desk, the president said, "Of course. You know, we have suspended all rules of protocol. I have a good feeling towards you. Please, sir, what is your name? And where do you come from?" "I come from the planet your Bible calls the morning and evening star. Venus?" "Yes, sir." Can you prove this?" he asked. "What do you constitute as proof?" He quickly retorted, I don't know." "Will you come with me to my ship?" He answered with a quizzical look and said, My friend, I cannot come and go as I please. There are others to be considered. I have no idea who the hell is talking
I
about
think
now.
this is the president now. This is the president. Yeah.
I think this is the president.
Yeah.
There are others to be considered. There are committees to be consulted and security measures to be adhered to. Please spend some time with us here. Let's get better acquainted. Learn more about one another, and perhaps soon, real soon, we shall see. That was his meeting with Eisenhower. I gotta say, that reads like exactly how you would imagine somebody trying to make like a fiction story exciting.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It just like
yeah.
the door slammed wide open and 6 armed guards came in and said, You're coming to meet the president."
So why? Clearly, he had the intention to meet the president. Why didn't he just land on the lawn of the White House instead of like some obscure spot that the police picked him up at?
I don't know. Maybe Well, how did he get there? He went to a ship, did he?
Well, they like picked him up. Hold on. 6 staff members, met 2 police officers, weapon drawn. One of the leaders who had chose to make the contact as well as direct project landed his craft with 2 police officers, weapon drawn. Throughout transference, quickly convinced that he meant no harm, was ushered to the backseat of a patrol car. After crossing into Washington, D.C., they were so he didn't land in Washington, he landed somewhere else, and they arrested him. And then they brought him to the president. But I was like, why wouldn't he just like fly on the lawn? And like, he could have avoided the whole like conundrum of like, are you actually an alien?
Maybe he didn't know where it was.
Maybe
they did. Maybe they just said, the president of the United States is located here on the Earth map. I shall land in this vicinity and travel by foot. Maybe that was the wise words he said.
But yeah, I guess, yeah. Maybe. I'll get some music back on here just a second. Richard Nixon is next, I guess.
We get the Nixon's part.
Yeah.
At that moment, another gentleman rushed into the room. It turned out to be Vice President Richard Nixon. He appeared to Val to be very sharp, quick-witted, with fixed eyes and amazing aptitude towards speed and proficiency. My name is Valiant, he said as the president thrust his hand without hesitation. You have certainly caused a stir from an out-of-towner for an out-of-towner. Vice President smiled as he continued. Of course, we are not wholly convinced of anything just yet. Please suffice to say that we are checking and double-checking everything you say and do. When Sergeant Young from Alexandria radioed in and stated that you had just landed in a flying saucer, we thought, he continued, Sergeant Young had flipped. Say, were you and that UFO flap over Washington? You certainly all had us all in a dither, you did, if you were. Hang on a second.
Take a breather.
No, I gotta take a drink of water.
Oh, fucking Jesus Christ. It's very good, Nixon. There you go. Very, very well done.
After assuring them that this planet has been under close security for hundreds of years before the 1945 bomb blast, and with his special letter still in the slight quivering hand of the president, he was requested to follow the Secret Service back the way they had come, to the Pentagon and into a beautifully furnished apartment where he would spend the next 3 years. Fortunately, he was prepared for such a lengthy visit and kept in constant communication with the starship. There were many occasions during which he teleported himself in and out of those quarters, often exercising trans-imagery to cause the security guards to visualize his face on a non-existent badge.
Interesting.
And he's got some wicked powers.
Yeah, he's like a superhero, almost. Yeah.
He's like Valiant Thor the Flash. The Flash Thor. Flash Thor. That's who he is. He's Flash Thor.
God damn.
Well, the thing that might give some of this some credibility is that there have been photos of this fella. Supposedly.
Yeah.
Supposedly. That so we can look at that. So there was that initial one that you had with
this one here. Yeah, this is the famous one that everyone points to. That this was a meeting. So I think it was some guy wrote a book on like UFOs or something. This was like a real thing, and this person was front row, and the rumor was that he was like this Valiant Thor. So sorry, I'll let you read through, and I guess we'll.
But soon after his arrival, together with 3 members of his crew, he joined a convention in the backyard of the home of Mr. Howard Menger in High Bridge, New Jersey. The month was April 1957. A certain group of individuals were interested in UFOs were meeting that day. Val and his crew members, Don, Jill, and Tanya, had changed into the same type of clothing worn by their Earth friends. The meeting was very interesting, and these people were on the right track. He was dismayed to learn the undignified manner in which these people were treated by the press. Nevertheless, these people were pursuing their beliefs, and this was good. A curious young photographer, August C. Roberts, snapped several pictures, thinking he was doing so without Val's knowledge. The photographer seemed to be greatly troubled when he attempted to talk to him. Yet it was those very photographs which were to bring me together with this unusual man on that cold December day. Holding the message from the High Council in his hand, the President stated that Val's offer to help the human family would upset the economy of the United States and could plunge her into the abyss of chaos. In brief, politely told Val that the people of this planet were not ready to cope with such conditions as would come into existence if the recommendations of this earthly visitor were put into action. I remember this. He supposedly offered to create conditions, offer support to eliminate, like conditions of like poverty and whatnot. And they were like, "You cannot let the aliens save us. It will ruin the economy."
Ruin the economy. Yeah, wasn't it free energy and shit too? Like they were just gonna solve all their problems.
Yeah, I think they were going to solve like everything, and they were just like, "I would just ruin the economy. There's no recovery for the economy, and that would just defeat the whole purpose of the whole United States."
I could see them making that stupid fucking decision and declining that kind of help. Yeah, I could see them making that kind of decision. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Nevertheless, he was invited to assist a number of scientists who were out working on medical projects directly associated with the space sciences. His allotted time to acquaint the leaders of the United States with his suggestions was limited to 3 years. During this time, he refused to advise them regarding a certain bomb in the sky, which we now know as the Star Wars system.
Fuck yeah.
I imagine he talks. I imagine he talks in a very like a pious, bored, monotone attitude.
I like imagine him speaking kind of like the high elves from the Elder Scrolls, like just like almost like pompous in a way, like just like looking down on us a little bit, like just evolved, like educated beyond imagining.
You imagine Valiant Thor coming down and saying, "Have you read the new Mysterium Xerxes by Mankar Cameron?
Yeah.
I find his works fascinating. Would you care to join me?"
That'd be fucking incredible, actually. Yes. Yeah. Except the high elves are notoriously racist in the Elder Scrolls, so that maybe that wouldn't go over well for us. But yeah. So this is one of the pictures supposedly taken on that day. By the way, again, we already showed this, but yeah. Supposedly, right? People that believe the fantasy,
Well, they mentioned a miracle garment. There are a couple photos that of him that he had too. There's one where he was sitting in like the front. I remember he was there. It was like in a courtroom or something, and he was the first person in the foreground. It was a little bit different than the one that you were showing, but maybe we'll see if we can find some images of it.
Maybe I can read through this one a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, you read through that.
In his apartment, he was able to maintain communication with his ship and was kept informed of the growing world tensions. Incredible. His uniform underwent rigid tests at the time. By today's standards, they would now be obsolete. They attempted to penetrate the material with a diamond drill, but it snapped under pressure. Acid rolled off the uniform and burned a hole in the floor. They fired a high-velocity rifle at the uniform, but it failed to pierce it. The report the president read: physical appearance: soft silver and gold lustrous. Fabric: unknown. Weight: 6 ounces total, including boots, minus hole and buttocks cutout. Cut: close fitting like a tunic. No cuffs, pockets, buttons, zippers, clips or hooks. RXT2 tests. Indestructible. Finally,
So
a bright eye. Oh, sorry.
They're the fellas that brought the whole spandex fad is like regular fashion. They're the ones that brought that over here.
Yeah, they fucking he's the OG fucking for this shit. There's so there's there's another image as well.
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of. That was the original Valiant Thor, but I guess maybe the one you had is like the more famous one. That was always the one I remember.
He looks like Valiant fucking Chad here. Like, what the fuck, bro? They all like fucking Chads on fucking. He literally looks like Chad Thundercock there. Do you know who Chad Thundercock? He was
described as a good-looking guy. You see,
he looks like Chad Thundercock here, like 100%. Like, how? Look, like there's Chad Thundercock there. I don't know. Like, is Chad from outer space? Like, look at this shit. Like, I don't know. It's pretty fucking close. If you ask me, he's got the blonde hair. He's got like the fucking lip on it. Look, he's a thick neck. Like, fuck. Very interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, back to back to what he was wearing. The chick confirms it. Finally, a bright-eyed colonel escorted him to a place where the final test would be performed. Oh my heavens. Val looked at the laser instrument amusingly. Upon command, the laser aimed a fine line of intense light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. The colonel began his discourse that the device contained a crystal synthetic ruby in which atoms, when stimulated by focused light waves, amplify and concentrate these waves and emit the beam. This sounds like they've already got alien technology here. As the colonel continued to speak, his smile gave way to utter dismay, the ray being totally ineffective against the garment. He babbled on long after the laser has been turned off. He reiterated how powerful the U.S. had become since the splitting of the atom. He gave Val a lesson in atomic fusion. He went on to state that when a chain reaction of nuclear fission is set off by a neutron bombardment in the atoms, or a charged plutonium or uranium isotope with an atomic weight of 235, an immense quantity of energy is suddenly released. The good colonel finally talked himself out, and Val was conducted back to his quarters along with his uniform. 1959 was fast drawing to a close. Chiefs of state were in a constant turmoil and confusion, was the rule of the day. Indecision caused delay after delay. Economists and industrial giants conferred with politicians and military heads daily. The government leaders could not reconcile Val's being in a position to force their hand if so desired. Several scientists attempted to learn the secrets of interstellar travel without success. Christmas week was now upon us. I had been busily presenting a series of scientific lectures and speaking at a number of churches in Washington, D.C. Earlier that month, I had returned from Cuba, where I personally met with Fidel Castro. Interesting. Unbeknownst to me, Val, working with Nancy Warren, formulated a plan whereby I would be contacted. Interesting. Right. Well, onward with, I guess, the readings. I don't know, Galentv, what do you think about that? What do you think about him fucking having this indestructible suit? Like, does this solidify the story that it's real yet?
No.
Not yet?
No.
Getting there. We're getting there.
Well, yeah. I mean, we wouldn't be talking about it if this was bunk. This is absolutely. We're interested in the truth here.
That's exactly it. Yes.
Well, many people live one life openly while in their hearts and minds they live quite another. Double-mindedness seemed to be the way of life in the Pentagon building that served as the busy nerve center of our nation. Val once remarked to me that he had never witnessed in one central location such concentrated confusion. Nancy attended the lecture service which I conducted at the National
Evangelistic Center.
I don't know why I couldn't read that.
Yeah, it happens.
Evangelistic Center, pastored by John Mears in Washington, D.C. Following the conclusion of my talk, She approached the platform and asked to speak to me. Strangely enough, the photographer in New Jersey had given Val's photographs to me, and I had been displaying them at my lectures ever since. I had no personal knowledge of them, other than what I had been told by the photographer. When she was unable to grab my attention while I was signing copies of my book, Saucerama, she showed her Pentagon ID, and that got my attention quickly, to say the least. We borrowed the pastor's study, and she asked me if I would like to meet the man in the photographs personally. Of course, I answered her with a resounding yes. She then asked if I could follow instructions to the letter, to which I replied that I could. She told me to meet her at the curb in front of my hotel at 8 a.m. the next morning. Nancy arrived precisely on time, and thus began the journey, which at times would seem unreal, of course, but which later would prove beyond doubt that there is truly life in God's universe. Those of you familiar with the Pentagon know that the normal traffic flow approaching it is to the right. We drove to the left. I knew that something strange was going on. We had to stand in line to pass by a security guard. First one, then the second. Visualize an identification badge on my lapel. This utterly amazed me, and I felt that at any minute I would be picked up, handcuffed, and thrown into some jail somewhere. This, of course, was only my imagination in anticipation of what was about to take place. Nancy left me standing in front of a door which contained no markings. As the door opened, I walked in and stood on the threshold. My stocky form shifted from one foot to the other as I cleared my throat. The three men in the room were completely unaware of my presence and ignored me. I was puzzled, to say the least. Later, I'd find out that Val had clouded their minds and rendered them oblivious to the entire session. They continued their work.
Like magic.
This is like magic. This is Flash Thor here. He's not even that. He's like Valiant Merlin now.
Valiant Merlin. Are there any other Valiant Thor pictures? I think there were more that.
Yeah, there are a few other.
Let's see. Oh, here's the other one of him in the air that I was always brought up. That's the other perspective of what he looked like. Where's another one here? These were his people that accompanied him, supposedly. These two other people here. These were the other Venetians, I guess, that were with him at the time. Right here. This is a better quality photo, actually, the one that we had. Yeah, very, very interesting. Again, for people that have already read about this, maybe you kind of may know where this story comes from. And that potentially these people were just intelligent agents, but and had nothing to do necessarily with Venus. But
so which one of them was Valiant Thor then? Because the other picture, the guy in the middle,
yeah,
or the guy in the far,
the guy in the far right, who I've got up right now, the close up, that's Valiant Thor.
Okay.
Yeah,
but his hair was like blonde in one, and now it's not blonde. Now it's like very, very clearly like of a dark complexion.
The guy you sent me isn't Valiant Thor.
Isn't?
No, he isn't. Yeah, that's a different guy. This is Valiant right? Thor. Yeah, this is supposedly the only pictures of Valiant Thor. Yeah, that was another picture supposedly they tied to him, but this is him here, supposedly. Yeah. But yeah.
Again, James Valiant Thor Bond.
Yeah, really though.
Who'd have thunk?
Yeah. No, this is
Valiant Bond.
Valiant Bond. I can take this one. The Stranger appears. Sorry.
In 1 second, I'll be right back.
Okay. Being a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, as well as a student of the Bible for many years, coupled with my experience as a special investigator, I felt as though my senses were functioning properly and that I knew exactly what I was about to do. I was on my guard for fakes and frauds. In walked a man about 6 feet tall, perhaps 185 pounds, brown wavy hair, brown eyes. His complexion appeared normal and slightly tanned. As I approached him and he looked at me, it was as though he looked straight through me. With a warm smile and extending his hand, he greeted me by name. "Hello, Frank. How are you?" His genuineness astonished me, but quickly I understood. As I gripped his hand, I was somewhat surprised to feel the soft texture of his skin, like that of a baby, but with strength of a man, that silently testified to his power and intensity. What is going on here? His voice was very strong and mellow. It was filled with purpose and character. I again looked around the room to see whether the other men would say or do anything. They were still working as if I weren't there. I noticed that he was wearing the same type of clothing as I. When I asked if he possessed any other clothing, he said that he had given several officials a garment so that they could run tests on it. He then proceeded to a closet and produced a one-piece suit that glittered as the sun, which streamed in through the window when the window hit the fabric. I thought that it looked like liquid sunshine. I asked him about the material from which it was made. He answered, "It is made of a material not of this earth." The general appearance of the suit was all of one piece, even down to the boots. It contained no buttons, zippers, or snaps. I asked him how it held together. He demonstrated by holding the front together and passing his hand over it as if to smooth it out. I could not even locate the opening. It was held together by an invisible force. Magic. Very strange here, though. You notice a baby-like texture on his skin, but still the strength of a man that silently testified to his power and intensity.
Baby hands.
Yeah.
Baby hands, man.
Yeah, absolutely fucking... Absolute stud here. Like, fucking Giga Chad Thor. I'll let you read the next part again. I gotta get Edgar's ball. So just a second.
He told me that his purpose in coming was to help mankind return to the Lord. He spoke in positive terms, always with a smile on his face. He said that man was further away from God than ever before. But there was still a good chance if man looks in the right place. Told me he had been here nearly 3 years and would depart in just a few months, claiming that he would not use force to speak with men in authority in America. He was happy to consult with them at their invitation. Further stated thus far, only a few men in Washington knew of his existence in the Pentagon, and few leaders had availed themselves of his advice during these past 3 years. He felt there was still so much to do, and yet his time of departure was getting near. He told me that Jesus Christ would not force men to be saved from their mistakes, even though he had already made a way for mankind to be redeemed through his shed blood. When I asked him where he was, he replied, "I am from the planet that is called Venus." I asked him how many visitors from Venus presently on Earth, and he said, "There are presently 77 of us walking among you in the United States. We are constantly coming and going." During the next 30 minutes, he told me things about myself that even I did not know. Later, I was able to verify them with my parents and grandparents. He gave me information regarding the gravitational pull of Venus in comparison to Earth. I was informed that the abdominal muscles hold flesh firm against the mild gravitational pull, which is 3/12 or 3/20 less than that of Earth. gave me information which would be revealed to others over a period of years.
That's very interesting.
I did not realize that they were just a bunch of Venusian missionaries.
Yeah, I guess so. Spreading the word of Christ, yeah.
Yeah, now just stay with us here, folks. We at the 800 Club here, we just want to spread the message of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You see, we initially found out that our real headquarters is on the planet Venus. And in order to get back to Venus, we're going to have to build a certain X-series rocket. Now, I know the rockets are primitive, but we are just taking donations. Your donation of $6.95 would be of a great help to us here at the 800 Club.
Holy fuck. They're just like intergalactic beggars.
You ever see, just got a side, you ever see that South Park one where they had the Starvin Marvin character, but he was like trying to find like a new place, and they kept doing those like, now stay with me, folks. Here at the 800 Club, we're trying to spread the word of Christ, and what we need now is we've discovered that our ship has been locked into gravitational beam. Now, what we need here, folks, is not an ion beam, but a reversal ion beam to get out of their thing. They're just just stay with me, folks.
Just trying to suck them dry, huh? Anything. What the fuck? No fingerprints. The only thing he said that troubled me was his use of the expression "when the time is right" in response to my question as to whether or not I would see him again. His lack of fingerprints intrigued me, as I had been involved as a private investigator for quite some time, even working at times on loan to some of the government agencies. I had learned the science of fingerprints, with the impression of the lines and whorls on the inner surface of the last joint of each finger on the human hand. He had told me that all Earth people were thrustily marked since the fall of Adam in the Garden of Eden. Okay, holy fuck, he's selling this. During the very dawn of civilization as we know it today. He began to prepare me for the road which lie ahead. It would not be an easy one. There would be adversities, organized attempts to both discourage and discredit me, but the rewards have proved to outweigh these trials which continue even to this day. We discussed the merits of Jesus Christ, how he gave his life freely, so that men could enjoy the benefits of eternal life. I questioned him about a Bible on Venus, and he assured me that a personal, unbroken fellowship with the author did not necessitate the printing of a book. He found it amusing that many theologians attempt to discredit both Jesus Christ and the Bible. The very God many have said is dead continues to lavish them with all good things. Perhaps they will in time permit the spark of divine light to illuminate their troubled hearts. In answer to my question of what he thought about Jesus Christ, he said, "I know that Jesus is the Alpha and Omega of yours and everyone else's faith. He today has assumed his rightful position as the ruler of the universe." Jesus, fuck. Okay. "It is preparing a place in the time for all who are called by his name to ascend far above the clouds to where his power and authority shall never be disputed." He seems like a fucking straight up dictator here. Like, what the fuck? "I believe that Jesus Christ is a wonder of wonders and changes not. No, not forever and forever." As he spoke these words, my own heart burned within me and tears filled my eyes. He turned to the window and said, "Frank, it will not be long. Contend for the faith, and you will never miss the mark." I asked him if there is life on other planets. Holy fuck.
We here at the 800 Club, we're just sending out our best guy, Thor.
Yeah.
Okay, we're sending Val out, and he's there truly spreading the word of Christ.
Oh, God. Yeah, he's getting it all set up. He's getting ready for that fucking final swing, or he just, like, empty your pockets. Like, come on now. Like, my money's worthless.
I remembered the, like, power of positive thinking stuff, but I gotta say, I completely had forgotten about this missionary stuff.
Yeah, so did I. Like, this is like on another fucking level here. Like, he's waiting like Jesus, the fucking like dictator. Like, he's setting this up.
So does that mean that Jesus was really, really a Venusian?
It sounds like Jesus is a bit of a space pirate going around and convincing everybody from all these other cultures around the fucking galaxy that he's like the Alpha and Omega and they need to worship him. Mm. Not yet, Zach, but soon. might get to that at some point.
It might not go that far here in the 800 Club. It's one of those secrets that really needs to be kept internalized here at the 800 Club.
They live in the clouds, though, above the sulfuric acid clouds, right above them. That's how they live.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because Venus is... Well, the interesting part about all this is that back during this time, we didn't have good enough data from our probes to determine that Venus was, in fact, uninhabitable. We thought, because actually of its location, that potentially it was extremely habitable and temperate. It was a surprise to us in the 50s that Venus turned out to be completely uninhabitable. That was a big surprise, actually. And guess who predicted that Venus was not 20 degrees Celsius on its surface, but 800 degrees?
Al Gore?
No. Close. Emmanuel Velikovsky. Predicted.
I don't think that's close. I don't think that's close.
No, not close. Very far off.
I don't think that was close at all.
Actually, pretty close, but they're both catastrophists. They both were warning of catastrophes in the future. One of them has turned out to be wrong. So far. So, anyway, yeah, just interesting little tidbit there about Emmanuel. And he made that prediction based on stories he read through out ancient history from ancient literature. So,
does ancient literature speak about how there was another planet that would go run by Venus?
Yes, actually, yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah, anyway.
Oh boy!
Life on other planets, but
all right, life on other planets. His reply: there is life on many other planets, of which people on Earth know nothing. There are more solar systems for which man has not even given God credit. There are many beings that have never transgressed the perfect laws of God. Man does not possess the right to condemn the whole of God's creation, because he himself has broken the perfect laws of God through disobedience. God, what an ass.
Man, like it's getting like a little bit like BDSM here. Like, I don't know, like Jesus is the Alpha, the Omega, like the Big Daddy, and like you can't disobey God or there'll be like punishment. Like, I feel like these Venetians, maybe kind of like the Pleiadians, are all kind of fucked. Like, just complete intergalactic perverts. Like,
somebody that or the feds got real creative with this one.
Fuck. I
mean, I asked him what he would do if the military prevented him from leaving on the appointed day. He simply stated, "Frank, do you remember one day after Jesus arose from the dead, he had gone in search of several of his followers. They closed themselves in a locked room, and suddenly they saw Jesus standing in the very midst of them."
Okay.
He smiled, and they looked at me as if to imply, "Need I say more?" As I turned to leave the room, he said simply, "Please keep your faith and leave the same way that you came in. Continue to seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all other things will, in time, be added to you and yours. Goodbye for now, and God bless you and keep you always." I left that meeting astounded, greatly encouraged, and yet with a heavy heart, not knowing what the future would hold. I began to wonder who would believe me if I ever told of the strange encounter with the man from another planet. I first considered not repeating this extraordinary story, but the more I thought about it, the more I prayed about it, the more I felt that it would bring a great blessing to those who would hear it, who would hear and read it. This interplanetary traveler possessed a wealth of knowledge not only about science and God, but also about me. He stated that my book, Saucerama, could not have been written without heavenly guidance. Val's instructions were to leave Washington, D.C. no later than March 16th, 1960. That meant there were less than 3 months during which he could confer with scientists, politicians, military men, and the like. All missed his point entirely. They were all filled with self-ambition and cared little for the pressing needs of mankind. His efforts to bring about an end to the sickness and disease that plague this planet were met with pathetic refusal. He was told over and over that his presence and his ideas were a threat to the political and economic structure. Certain religious leaders were also fearful of losing a grip on the people in the event that this presence was admitted on an official level. It was very disheartening that the administration failed to lay hold of such information that would change the course of human activities for good, because of economic reasons. Security regulations were very tight, but despite the fact that they knew he would come and go as he pleased, they delighted in playing their game. Val had vowed not to use force, and so another course of action would be necessary if the information which he had to relate were to be disseminated. This is the reason why he contacted men of godly character, strength around the world. Many are presently working in close contact with Val and other members of his crew. He didn't say anything about life on other planets.
Yeah, that was a bit of a fucking, bit of a rip there, yeah.
He didn't say anything about them. Unless he meant God.
Yeah, like, fuck, I mean, it's very American. And they all go into a closet together and see Jesus standing in front of them. Interesting.
His will be done. In all in time, Jim. The secrets of God and Jesus and their plan of mass annihilation of the human race will be revealed in time.
Mass depopulation, yeah.
Only to ascend to a greater height.
To a higher dimension. And
the higher dimension, the dimension of death.
Dimension of death. The afterlife. Yeah. That's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
And then he meets with the president. His last meeting with the president did not reap any lasting results. He wanted to let the world know of Val's proposed plan, but the Secretary of Defense, the head of the Central Intelligence Agency, and the military chiefs of staff were opposed to his suggestion. The president attempted to effect a joint meeting before the General Assembly in the United Nations. But this plan, too, was rejected. He was informed that the UN would receive a special press release in the form of a memorandum to the Secretary General no later than February 7, 1966. These leaders of the U.S. government argued long into the night, fearing that if the people of this nation learned of the plan Val was offering, they might choose to follow him instead of them. Oh my. When a man feels that his personal peace and tranquility may be threatened, the human reaction is always that of a swift self-preservation. At one point, the vice president insisted that the pressure boys allow the president to make the choice. He was vetoed without even a chance to complete his statements. World conditions were not growing any better.
Hold up. What do they call them? The pressure boys?
the pressure boys. Yeah.
What is it? A motorcycle gang?
Well,
political circle?
This is the thing. Like, who was in that room when Jesus appeared in that closet? Like,
the pressure boys.
The pressure boys. Like, things are getting like, were they wearing leather? Strictly. World conditions were not growing any better. Much international pressure was being brought to bear upon the administration. They fought diligently and enforced rigid regulations with stiff penalties for revealing Val's presence. Even a major newscaster who inadvertently learned of his visit through one of his paid informants was silenced by none other than the Central Intelligence Agency, which has consistently disclaimed all knowledge concerning UFOs. Meanwhile, they maintained secret files that could actually prove the existence of intelligent life in the universe beyond all doubt. The morning of March 15, 1960 saw Val meeting with Nancy Warren, who would continue to work inside the Pentagon and be one of his contacts in the Washington, D.C. area. She would continue communication with others who would become part of his Earth contacts. There are still to this day many adversaries to human freedom. These parasites have embedded themselves in all phases of human society and will never be exposed except by extraterrestrial intervention. I don't know if I disagree there on that, actually. There are confused individuals who have perfected a saucer-type aircraft. Some of these the result of an attempt by some to institute a master race. Oh, my heavens. Remnants of this group still exist. These craft, which they designed, are still seen from time to time in areas of South America where some of those involved in the original plans still reside. Oh my. These should not be confused with the spacecraft originating from other worlds or those coming from the interior of the planet, because the Earth is hollow. Nor should the occupants of craft originating from other worlds be confused with those evil messengers who do not originate from Earth, but were cast into it after the first war ever recorded, the Nephilim. They are in league with earthly low grades who have condemned themselves because of their own choices.
What does he mean? What does he mean, low grades? What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know. What does he mean by that exactly? Who does he mean by that?
Talking about the Satanists?
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
I have no idea.
Maybe
this really went from like a UFO story to just like the story of a man who infiltrated into the Pentagon to spread the word of our Savior Lord Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, yeah. Jesus happened to hit up Venus years before he made it to Earth. He had already sold his deal there and convinced all of them of his great power. Then he came to Earth, did the same deal here. So he was going in order. He's hitting it. Then the Martians were after us, right?
Yeah. I was going to say, well, maybe he went to Venus, missed Earth, went to Mars, and then came here because maybe he caused the nukes on Mars. Maybe they weren't as receptive to the teachings of Christ.
That could be it. Or they got into a huge religious war over it, which is probably what happened. Yeah.
Maybe they listened too hard.
Yeah, and they started to have disagreements. Yeah, that's usually what happens.
They listen too closely.
That's usually what happens, yeah.
Imagine if I'm trying to think how to phrase this. Essentially what I'm going to say, for lack of a better phrase, can you imagine if these were just Jehovah's Witness grifters, on a galactic scale? They're just going from planet to planet, just going this is thine Lord and Savior, Jesus the Christ. He cometh in peace, and one must abide by the teachings of God. By the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And each planet just takes it a different way.
Yeah, I think that it sounds like what's going on here, honestly. Yeah.
Wouldn't that mean that Christianity is then the correct religion then? But it was because it's an intergalactic religion, or it's an intergalactic religion now.
Yeah.
Maybe they got it right. Maybe the Catholics were right all along.
Maybe they were. Maybe it's the best cult, the cult to start and join. So, fuck. The spaceman departs.
He seems to leave.
Yeah.
Leaves on March 16th. Val dematerialized and departed from this phase of his earthly mission. His next stop was the outskirts of Alexandria, Virginia, where his ship and his crew awaited his arrival, hidden by a wooded area. There was no problem for him to reassemble the atoms of his body inside the ship. As his craft rose slowly, a number of people stopped and pointed excitedly his direction. Others stood motionless, transfixed by the sight which they beheld. He felt such a tremendous feeling of love from all of them. There was no panic in them, just curiosity and a strange desire to know more. Then, as the USAF, the United States Air Force jets were scrambled, and with the force field now in full use, the planes darted past the ship, unable to see them now. Even ground radar lost them on their equipment. Confusion once again reigned. On the way back to Victor 1, I guess that was a ship, he meditated on his home planet. The low, heavy, colorful clouds, and even temperatures. The perfectly diffused sunlight that made shadows almost non-existent. The lushness of the rich green grass surrounding his home. He was informed of several Earth people with whom he would maintain contact for a long time in the future. Strangely enough, those who knew of his presence, yet who claimed disbelief, were those who feared the most. Others figured they should have been the ones contacted and not those who were. Upon returning to his home planet, he advised the Council of Central Control of the results of his Earth visit, including the failure of the leaders of the United States to take him up on his offer of advice and assistance to the human family.
Yeah, fuck.
He was given the following instructions: to mingle with and become as Earth people, to work and labor in Earth enterprises, to help those who encounter possible threat or danger while striving for world peace, to give them advice and guidance, to entrust with superior knowledge those who have proven themselves, to divulge the essence of their mission to the collective national leaders of Earth, only when the time is right. As of this writing, he continues with this mission at the same time assisting and preventing our civilization from being the cause of orbital chaos by the destruction of our planet.
Yeah, man, I've seen some tall whites fucking going after some fucking IPAs like hard lately. I know of a tall white who loves IPAs actually.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yes.
If he went home, how did the author get information about the home planet and what he did when he went home?
Well, Galentv, that would be through telepathy, of course.
Oh, I guess.
With the assistance of guided meditation, amplifying the telepathy, sending it back to receptive people on planet Earth. We're not tuned into the right frequency to get it. You had to be tuned into the right frequency. How do you tune into that frequency? Well, we don't own enough crystals. We need more crystals in our house.
Oh, you need to be a person of God.
Well, it starts with that, but then you start tuning the frequency, and like you need just the right amount of quartz, right? Rose quartz as well, a little bit of rose quartz, right? And you need to get enough of it, and then you need to surround it. You need to surround yourself with it in the right way, and then to really connect, you need a huge piece of rose quartz, and you jam it into your forehead like this. And then you'll turn into this light being, and that'll allow you to kind of like Diablo. Like when you see that, I remember Diablo right back in the day, like he had that like the rock, right? And then he jams it into his fucking head, same kind of thing. And then that allows you to connect with Valiant Thor. But Soul Jam, yeah, that's exactly it. Actually, essentially what it is, yeah. But like not a grand soul gem, it's like more like a black soul gem, right? Like one of the bad ones.
I would like to point out one thing is that at the very bottom of the page, the final link, it says "Return to the divine and the manipulative extraterrestrials." At the bottom of that page.
Oh heavens! Return to Venus, but return to divine and okay. The
manipulative.
Is that for a second there? I thought that was Morrowind, like the Elder Scrolls, but I'm looking. The girls in the bikini. Okay. Anyway,
well, I don't know what these are. There's I haven't really looked at any of this stuff. I just noticed that now. I had some other pages opened up. Like there was. There was one they had opened that was called the Blue Brethren. I don't know if those are I don't know if those are the Chud Blueskis or not, but
revealing an extraterrestrial presence by modern science in institutionalized Christianity would inspire a Gnostic-like awakening, including a reappreciation of the human identity in relation to God. Indeed, ancient Gnostics appeared to view the God associated with the evolution of Christian dogma as a false God, created under the influence of what was referred to as the manipulative extraterrestrials associated with the Old Testament and other religious systems cultivated by repressive empires on Earth. Okay.
So does that mean that the aliens are going to bring about the beast?
Yeah. There's a lot in here. What the fuck?
The alien prophet will come down and say, "Behold, gaze towards the ocean, and thine Savior, thine Christ shall appear." But really, it's the alien beast.
What is the White Brotherhood?
Alien beast.
The White Brotherhood. That's a little bit sus to me.
Oh yeah, that I remember seeing that. I thought that's probably one we don't want to click on.
I just clicked on it.
Oh, you did?
What the fuck? I was thinking of the other White Brotherhood with the fucking Grand Wizards and shit.
Yeah,
The Grand Wizards and whatnot. You know, we keep the wizardry out of this. We don't want to go to that Brotherhood.
There's the Ashtar command.
Okay.
Very top.
All right. Just where's Ashtar's at the top? You said.
Yeah, the Ashtar command. The airborne division of the Great White Brotherhood.
Oh, is this on the Great White Brotherhood? Oh, yeah, but fuck, here it is right here, yeah. All right, but, oh, God, all right. Okay. The Airborne Division, one of the most interesting, intriguing extraterrestrial groups of them all is that of Commander Ashtar and the Ashtar Command. Commander Ashtar is a man who is in charge of the Airborne Division of the Great White Brotherhood. Fuck. Or Brotherhood of Light, all right. Commander Ashtar and his vast extraterrestrial army of workers of over 20 million work closely in conjunction with the Ascended Masters. Besides the 20 million personnel under his command in our solar system, of which he is in charge, there are another 4 million members and workers on the physical plane. Commander Ashtar himself is a great and noble being approximately 7 feet in height with blue eyes. His body type is that of Adam Kadmon, which means it is similar to ours on Earth. He evolved from the planet Ashtar and his development as a soul. He has never had an embodiment on planet Earth. Although Commander Ashtar is in charge of the space fleet in our solar system, he is not restricted to this sector of space in terms of his service. He represents our solar system in the council meetings of our galaxy. Okay, they do not have physical bodies.
I got one to link for you. This is a short one, but it was a great title.
Where is this?
This was submitted. This was added. Or I guess this was added in 2020, so this is fairly recent. I linked it to you in Discord.
Okay. The fuck is this?
It'll let you read the title for it.
Awakening the extraterrestrial within you.
Awakening the ET within you. Now, how do you do this? It will be a super big wake-up call for Earth humans who are asleep because because most of them truly believe that the human species is all there is. There are billions of I'm going to read it like this. There are billions of planets in the galaxy that house millions of productive galactic alien civilizations. And wait until humanity finds out how many alien species live right here on Earth. And that they were on Earth billions of years before humans arrived. Some alien species look just like us. We eat, work, sleep, play together, and just interbreed. It's been this way forever. Yep, the sleeping public is going to have a lot to adjust to, and many humans will not be able to handle the truth emotionally.
Oh my.
I won't even discuss how the closure will affect all religious belief systems. The Vatican will, and is beginning to fall and crumble because the Roman Catholic Church is well aware that the aliens and those of them who want to control over the planet and humanity. Humanity was created and has survived on a jar full of lies, deceit, and manipulation for millions of years.
A jar full. Is that
Yeah,
all?
a jar full. A jar full. Not even a barrel, just a jar.
But that's just a couple. Like, what the fuck are you on now?
What kind of lies are those if it's just a jar full?
What is? There was nothing mentioned in here about like awakening the extraterrestrial within you. Well,
See,
but how
this is
that?
from-
Just think about that for a second, though. Like, so extraterrestrial means not from Earth. If we're from Earth, then how are we extraterrestrial?
Well, if we can go to the website, you see where it says at the top, it says submitted by Anonymous January 4th, 2020 from N5D.
Have you gone to that website? Because maybe you go
I
there
just
first.
clicked on it. I just clicked on it. It is worth a visit.
Oh my god. Here we go. This is Indigo Children right here, Digi. This is fucking this is how it's done here. This is how okay, so hold on. He's got PayPal buy me a coffee, PayPal buy me a coffee. Is there another fucking hit here on the bottom again for PayPal buy me a coffee? Nope. They got shirts. Okay, Quantum Die Psychic Alley. Okay, there we go. What is the meaning of life? The Metaphysical Show with Greg Prescott. Prophetic Dreams, New Earth DNA upgrades. What to do when you receive energetic attacks.
Well, what was that? Something upgrades? I missed that part.
There's DNA upgrades.
Oh, new Earth DNA upgrades. Now, what are they going on about there?
How to change your DNA right now. Oh, they got fucking pizza ad here from fucking Angel 777.
I gotta investigate this.
The universe is in a constant state of change and it's constantly evolving. Your personal evolution is tied to the universe.
Oh, is this what you're looking at
If
now?
you've been seeing angel number 777, congratulations, for it is an incredibly powerful sign of divine intervention and guidance. It is a message from the universe that you are being blessed with abundance and fullness. The angels are encouraging you to keep going and to have faith in yourself and the universe. They want you to know that they are with you and will guide you on your journey.
Just remember to buy them a coffee every once in a while. Fuck. Yeah, that's how you start a cult. That's the beginning stages of a great cult. Fuck. Codons. We're only utilizing 20 of the 64. I thought that said condoms. Codons in our DNA. We've got 64 condoms. Please
That's
have
64 condoms in the DNA.
There's like fucking like pizza and gravy ads and fries and gravy. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, there's another fucking pizza ad.
If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably a localized one.
Yeah, it might be.
Because that looks like that's from, what's that, Salvatore?
Salvatore's
I
like
think-
in a Quebec and like Eastern Canada pizza
I
place.
think one of those opened around here recently.
Yeah, I think they did. My pineal gland is fully open. I have 64 condoms. My chakras are clear and balanced. What's with the oil companies? Man, like, we're like, even fucking, this is like the metaphysical shithole here. Like, yeah, it's Kentucky Fried Spirituality. That's fucking, man, that's fucking literally, oh, fuck. Man, I would click on these sites. I would spend far too long just like looking through this shit. Like, oh my God. How to see your aura. So, you know what's funny? I may have told this anecdote before. When I went to go see the psychic, who actually kind of tripped me out a little bit, she started the whole thing off with acknowledging, "Oh my God, you're a green," and I was like, "What?" Like, I'm not like super familiar with that like shit, the aura stuff. It's like, "You're a green," and I was like, I was wearing like fucking, I don't know, like a blue shirt. I was like, "Fuck, are you like colorblind, bitch? Like, what the fuck?" and she's like, "No, your aura is green. You're a green," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "This, like, what does that mean?" She's like, "Oh, like everyone has a different color to their aura, and your aura is green." I was like, "You're a green, a green gang, green gang." That's fuck yeah, though. I was like, "Yeah, I mean,
Gang green. That's not
yeah,
good.
Well, that's not good, but like,
It's
gang,
not good.
green gang. That's different. Fucking, that's different." So,
Green gang.
I was like, "All right." And you know what's funny though? So I don't know what the fuck that really means still. But what was the Myers-Briggs I thought was funny? They incorporated, some woo stuff in here a little bit. And
they can actually you can actually see auras supposedly of people now that they've created like a technology to see it supposedly.
I've heard that. I didn't know if that was like fucking horse shit or if that was like actually.
They did have it on Ancient Aliens at one time, I think.
Oh yeah, well that must be true.
So
yeah,
that doesn't really answer our question, or maybe it answers it more than what we intended.
But it was interesting because I looked down here and I noticed that this is just a coincidence, but I'm one of these people on the 16 personalities of Myers-Briggs. It happened to be green, actually. And if I were to tie further woo into this stuff, which I don't know if Myers-Briggs has just kind of covertly done, but Michael Newton, who did like kind of the wacky like past life regression stuff, had tied a similar thing to like different groups of people with different skill sets on the other side, having like this like color to their aura that we perceive here. I mean, it's not that I don't buy it. I just don't know, like. Anyway, I thought that was kind of a weird thing. And I did this like not that long after going and speaking with her, and I noticed what I got a couple times, and I've always ever gotten is this one, which is Advocate.
Advocate.
Which is what I think you got as well, wasn't it, Galentv?
Yeah, that was one that I was getting for like every so often when I would do it. That was one that I would get recurringly.
Yeah.
I kind of flipped a little bit between like a couple of them, but I think Advocate was the one that usually came back the most.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very, very interesting one. But you get an iPhone aura sensor. Oh, Jesus. Okay, that's very fucking interesting. I don't know. The human aura. What does your aura... Here, it tells you right here. How to see your aura. What does all the aura colors mean? Red aura... individual reflects their personality. Are they enthusiastic and energetic? Forever on the lookout for new adventures. They're adventurous with food, travel, and sexual partners. Okay.
Go on.
Yellow.
Go on.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if there's far much to go on with that there. I guess. Yellow auras, they're analytic, logical, and very intelligent. They tend to excel in careers that involve teaching and study. They make excellent inventors and scientists. Okay. Pink aura. Pink aura are nature-loving and giving. They love to be loved. They gather around them. Close friends and families at every opportunity. They host family events. Okay. Green aura. Their creativity takes the form of practical matters such as gardening, cooking, and home decorating. What the fucking Christ? The green aura individual has a fine eye for beauty and will ensure their appearance and clothing, home and surroundings are both practical and beautiful. I fucking look homeless every time I fucking come on here, and I do not like gardening, and I have no fucking idea about decorating.
That's like your style, though, is that you want to appear that way.
Is that what it's all about? I want to look just like thrown together off the discount rack. Yeah.
Maybe that's what's beautiful to you.
Yeah, in its own chaotic way, I guess. Yeah.
Well,
The unhoused. That's true.
I guess maybe a way to think about that would be is like, does anyone intentionally try to dress in a way that they think is like particularly like unappealing? Is you're gonna say like, this is the worst possible outfit I could put on today. I gotta look terrible. Let's go for it.
I found someone actually. I found someone I think that does that.
Oh, really?
This guy right here. This guy, I think this guy does that.
Do you know does he? Is he confirmed for doing that?
I've just seen him over the years, and it's crossed my mind occasionally when I see him. It's like, yeah. I don't know. Like, fuck it, live life, I guess. Like, whatever. I thought he'd look kind of cool here. I kind of dig that look, but yeah, just a lot of drugs, maybe,
It's like pretty much how you dress, though. The one where you had the beanie and the sweatshirt open. It's almost what you're wearing right now.
Yeah, no, this is just to prove my point that, like, this is just someone who has
enough.
no fucking idea about fashion whatsoever. Yeah. Yeah, fuck, man.
Even then, you're still trying to do it in like a presentable way. Like, they're not just showing up with like Cheeto dust smeared all over their face as much as they can get it to be, smudged all over the face or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Right there, he looks pretty fucking.
It is a very subjective thing.
It looks like our old professor here, actually, a little bit, in like in a more youthful way, I guess. Interesting.
I would have said he looks more like Johnny Depp, but yeah, he kind of does in a way.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Holy Christ! I didn't know that it's like the same person. That's actually insane. What the fuck happened, bro? Yeah.
You know what? I got a counterpoint to the gardening thing.
Oh yeah.
You have stated a few times, if you see the correct signs, the correct tells of one unstoppable natural event that occurs every so often, then you will go out and you will buy a farm. You will commit to the off-the-grid life.
That's true, though, actually. Yeah, I have said that. So maybe it's something I'll fall in love with as time goes on. One of my grandfathers owned a farm, actually. And my last name is named after the street where he owned the farm in the city in which we reside. So he was a farmer. So there you go. So maybe someday I'll get that green thumb, but not today.
What else does green have?
They tend to be very popular, admired, and respected. How the fuck is that? They make for very successful business people, and they can create much wealth and prosperity.
You got a successful business going here. You got 10 people worshiping you.
They create much wealth and prosperity. Literally the poorest person. Fucking.
You've enriched the lives of all the viewers.
Well, yeah, I guess. There you go. Let's look at it like that.
Creative prosperity there.
They seldom
enlighten those
rash mistakes. Yeah.
Enlighten those to, the things that we talk about here that may have taken away from some brain cells, but it's an enriching experience.
You've learned what not to do. I think that's the thing. Like, what not to do. But orange. The orange aura is normally good-hearted, kind, and honest. They are very in tune, but with their the emotions of others, and can sense and feel their pain and joy. Purple aura. These are highly psychic people. Is it any coincidence that like Gengar and Hypno and what's the other guy who had the two fucking spoons? Alakazam are also purple.
Oh yeah.
I don't think so. Purple aura individuals possess a philosophical, inquiring, and intuitive mind. They'd love to learn and never stop exploring and inquiring into new subjects and areas that interest them. Because
you fancy yourself a purple mage now?
I would much more vibe with the purple aura, but I've been told by someone that I have a fucking green. Can I change my fucking aura? Like, it's not what I wanted to roll this time.
I don't think you would do well with the green aura. You don't like playing creatures and turning cards sideways or
Yeah,
attack. But you like playing counterspell.
Yeah, it's more blue. Like,
Yeah, it's blue. You seem like a much more blue.
Yeah, I like the whole blue. But purple would be excellent as well. Yeah, Pokestrat, Psionic type is exactly right. You train the purple gym, beat the purple boss kid. Yeah, that's what I need to do. They do not have a wide circle of friends, but the friends they do have are held close and are respected, admired, and loved. People with the predominant purple aura tend to be unlucky in love, but once they've found their perfect soulmate is loyal and loving for life. They connect well with animals and nature. They are attuned to animals and can sense their emotions and feelings, and when they're going to have diarrhea all over the carpet. Purple
I think
aura...
that's like they exposed themselves. I think they exposed themselves when they called you green. You just said, nope. I think they were exposed.
Fuck.
It's a fraud.
Oh no! I mean, well, the question. I think you must be a purple. You must be a purple aura, Mr. Galentv. You got some purple in your aura. Gold aura. Holy shit! Like, what to get the whole fucking rainbow in here? Like, what the hell? Blue.
I kind of felt like the yellow one was.
It's more you.
Seemed fitting, yeah. But
yeah,
I will say there's aspects of the purple one too.
A bit of purple and yellow in there. Blue are master communicators of the world. They have the ability to convey their thoughts, ideas, views, and concepts eloquently and charismatically. They make for excellent writers, poets, and politicians. They're highly intelligent and very intuitive. They certainly had the head and heart balance in making difficult decisions and choices. Incredibly good organizers. Gold aura. They're very attractive and love to attract attention, affection, and admiration. So it's attention whores. And silver have immense versatility and adaptability and are capable of getting the most out of virtually every opportunity in life. Their high intellect enables them, so everybody's smart. So I don't think there's been one. Maybe the pink is the only one that's been fucking dumb, which might be the stereotypical, like, you know, I don't know. Yeah, people change. You were green, but you might have changed. Yeah, I mean, like, so who's like the dumb ones? Oh shit. Oh. Now I don't want to fucking. Okay, let's just. Brown aura indicates confusion or discouragement, the lack of confidence in oneself, the present situation, or in the subject being addressed. Dark brown indicates selfishness, fault finding, and a tendency towards deception. Black aura,
the service to self,
indicates hatred, negativity, major illness or depression, cheap misery. This color is always a bad sign. I could see like a dark, like a black aura be a bad idea. I didn't even heard of like brown auras and like fucking man, like white aura, silver aura, right? But what about the rainbow aura though? Like, what if you have multiple colors all splattered in together? Like, I've heard that. Like, I've heard of people rainbow auras, psychic. What is this?
Is that the Super Saiyan aura?
This is the Ascended Master, Big Daddy.
Oh, Ascended.
Big time, horse cocking, like no fucking around, like king aura. What does it mean? What does it mean?
Ascended.
The Ascended, yeah.
The if you will, the Infinity Gauntlet of auras. They have all the auras.
That's essentially it. So yellow's, this is the same thing. Yellow is intellect and logic. Green is balance, growth, and healing. Violet is spiritual thought and understanding. So it's a little bit different. Silver, white, a manifestation of spiritual energies. Turquoise, psychic awareness. Olive green is physical healing. Black absorbs negativity. Red is desire, sexuality, physical energy. Brown is grounding of spiritual energy. So I'm not saying brown is bad here. A cold protected bubble of light. Some type of meditation to try to get you to manifest very colored bubbles around you.
The gold aura allows you to use your Hearthstone.
Is that what it does? Yeah, there you go. You can get away from that rogue trying to fucking yank you. Yeah, just enough time to get away from some asshole rogue that's trying to fucking one-shot you with his one-shot build. Fuck. Very intriguing stuff. I would love to go. You know what I'd love to do? I would love to like live stream like an actual like fucking reading at psychics. Maybe me and Galentv can go and we can sit down with the psychic and see if she'd be willing to let us fucking at least record it or stream it and do a fucking psychic reading on us. and see what she sees.
Oh,
She's gonna sit down. She'll just throw up instantly and be like, "Get out of my fucking house."
Oh Lord.
What have you boys been communicating with? Yeah.
A tarot reader of the a tarot card reader, or like a divinity reader streamer.
Yeah.
Then Jim Russell goes in. He's gonna have somebody like me, or a terrain beast, a DM Leak, or the man formerly known as Kriegley go in and just say, "Excuse me, what was your opinion on September 11th?"
Oh God, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I feel like it would just be a bad idea. It would be a very bad idea.
What's so controversial? You say it was a big tragedy.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, best idea. Oh, fucking jeez. You know what's weird, actually? My partner bought some tarot cards, and like she likes all that woo shit. There's a fucking Ouija board. Really? Yeah, she did. There's a Ouija board symbol over her desk here, and she bought some. I'll pull it up here.
I bought tarot cards too. I actually have some. I bought them years ago.
She bought all this sage wrapped up, and she lit it on fire and smoked the cards, and then did a reading. And the reading she gave me was surprisingly kind of accurate. It was a reading about my life up to this point. It was a little bit kind of unsettling, actually, but that's kind of what the things do. Like,
I gotta say the whole thing with the tarot card seems like they're specific enough that you would take notice of like something through the like the suggestion, but they're vague enough that like it could be any number of things. So it's like specific to a point, but vague enough that it's probably going to hit on something. That would be what I think that phrase is called cold reading. I think.
Yeah.
Is where you just gotta like spit something out and you just say like, does this have any meaning to you?
Yeah.
And the other person goes like, well, yes, it does. It means it, and then they'll tell you what it means, and then you just kind of like work it from there.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun if you don't take it serious. I think that's the best thing, Zach. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like it's more like you go through it and you do the reading, and then like 3 days later you just go, the prophecy has come to pass.
Now, me and DM Leak, when we first started streaming on the internet, we were doing this little podcast, the Casual Cats podcast, which only Galentv and Kriegley watched. But we did a reading. So DM Leak had these cards as well. He was gifted, and he had them all blasted, let them out in the moonlight, whatever the fuck. And we did a reading for Alex Jones, and the card that it was getting a little bit eerie, honestly. Again, where there were a couple of them in a row that were fairly accurate. And the one that we pulled for Alex Jones, this is when he got hit with that fucking like $1 billion fine or something, was about someone entering into financial ruin, like due to recklessness or something. And it was like the chances we pulled that out of all this kind of whatever it was, like 1 in 60, I guess. But it was like we had a couple of those in a row where it was like pretty pointed. But that one was like, whoa. I remember you just put the deck down. And I was like, man. I should be still that clip.
You guys did one, and you asked, is Fidel Castro really JT's dad?
Yeah.
I think it came back as a, most likely. I think that's what it was. I can't remember.
Yeah, we did a couple of them. I'm just looking to see here. Oh, here it is right here. It's been a while since we've done this. I think I can find the actual... Oh, I don't need to log in. Fuck you. Continuous guest. Where was it? Yes, here it is. Here's the tarot card reading right here. Actually, just a second.
So what will be the fate of Alex Jones after this hearing? And we'll see what the spirit world has to say. Communicating through tarot cards.
I can't blow it up anymore.
What will be the fate of Alex Jones?
I'm going to predict something really sad. Great sadness.
It's the 10 of Swords. Okay, so the 10 of Swords The card depicts a buffalo stabbed with 9 swords, with the 10th stabbed through its eyes.
Jesus
I wonder if we
Christ.
can get really close to that.
Go up a little bit. Yeah.
You can
Up a
probably
little bit
barely
more.
see this.
Up,
yeah.
up. Oh, there we go. Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah. Is that maybe that's Alex Jones after he drinks all the alpha male, super male vitality formula in his in his warehouse. He's going to evolve.
So, 10 of swords.
This is kind of a slow clip. We should have cut this up a bit more.
Ruin, rock bottom, melodrama.
No.
Yes, we're gonna have to
No!
stop for a second, okay? We're gonna have to stop for a
No!
second, okay? These things have been so accurate.
It was again. That was right after he got hit with $1 billion. It's after a couple of them in a row. I don't know. Maybe we should go Galentv. Maybe we should go and fucking. Maybe we should go and get the readings done. Maybe we should do at least that.
We gotta put them on the spot, though. You gotta record it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Well, you're gonna be.
Indeed.
You're gonna be there. We're doing this together. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. And a hangman card came and a character.
How much do these individuals charge for their talents?
That's a good question. If you have like Blue Cross or like some health insurance, maybe it's covered under it. I don't know, like for mental health or something.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Listen, boss, I gotta go to my reading every month, or I don't feel right. Like my mental health checkup, like they tell me everything's on the path, or it's off the path. And
I mean, hey, Blue Cross offers coverage for going to therapists now. They might offer cover. They might cover it.
Yeah. Well, we could do it. We could try it. Fuck it. Like, we could try it. Like,
I didn't need that $50 or however much it was anyway. Whatever.
there you go. Fuck it. Yeah, let's just go and do it. Or we could. You know what would be more fun? Which again, I think the site full blown schizo fucking. I told the story, but where I've seen a couple psychics, and one of them, I just straight up I wasn't fucking around. I walked in there. It was so This is a girl as soon as I walked through the fucking door, she just started spraying me down with frankincense. And I was like just coughing like, holy fuck. She's like, oh, there's something on you. I was like, what? What? She's like, there's something attached to you. I was like, oh shit. She's like, do you want me to make you a tea? And I was like, fuck you, sure, yeah. So she made me a herbal tea and we sat down. She's like, okay, honey. Now that thing is gone off of you, what do you want to talk about? I said, tell me about Nibiru. And then she went and she's like, okay, just let me get into she went, oh, okay. And then she started just channeling these Nibiruns and shit. And I love awkward situations. Like I fucking used to like sit on like that fucking Reddit cringe channel and just like try and just get a high score. And man, this pushed the limit. So
I like something to you in the Discord.
Okay.
You should open it.
Okay.
It's it's relevant to what
Oh
we're talking about.
shit! Can we do this shit on fucking stream? Oh my god! Oh, this would be.
This is
Now,
according to this website called top10psychics.online/compare.
Okay.
This is the top site in Canada
Holy shit!
with a 9.8 overall. I assume out of 10.
Interesting. Now I mean, now I don't want to like make fun of anybody though. Like I don't want to like threaten anybody's livelihood.
$4 a minute, $3.
Oh, is that what it is? Holy fuck, bro!
What the fuck?
We would only need like probably 5-10 minutes. I think that's probably about all we'd be able to make it through, to be completely honest.
$40.
Sue, oh my god, Harmony's just fucking just killing it. 21,000 readings since fucking 2019. Holy shit. She's a spiritual advisor. I have divine powers of dream interpretation. Now again, if you would have asked me, I don't know, 7-8 years ago about this, I would have said, fuck fucking horse shit, bro. I have to say, now the crazy Nibiru girl didn't. That solidified my feelings on that a bit. But then I went to the other one, and it shifted my perspective a little bit. That there's something to some of this stuff. Now I don't know about all these claims, but I did witness something very strange. So listen, Nate, we never know. We could get into it. We get some 5 out of 5 stars here. Who's
You see? Good. Have you seen Psychic Logan? He's had nearly 50,000 readings.
Oh shit, where's he at? Is he down a little bit?
He's not listed as a. He's listed as a life coach.
Oh shit, really? Where the fuck do we see that at now?
He was on the far left. I don't know if he. Oh, you might not have the same one that I have.
Oh, Psychic Logan. Yeah, he's gonna fit. I need all names and or DOB of everyone you would like me to look into. Look into what? The fuck? What? Or date of birth are not provided. They will not be mentioned in your video, and you have to place in their order. Are people like getting him to like look into other people? Like what the fuck? Is like psychic spying and shit?
The psychic spy. Now that is something.
You imagine if he comes in the video call and it's both of us, so he's like, "What's up? Do I need to tell him I'm streaming too, or can I just like not tell him that?" Oh God.
Imagine their response would be like, "Well, if all of your viewers also contribute $2.99 a minute, we can all watch at the same time."
Oh.
Hi, I'm Psychic Logan.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's like certain recording
I'm a
laws in
third-generation
some states in
and
the
I've
United
been doing
States.
this for 15 years.
Oh.
Through many life experiences and teachers, I've been able to hone and refine my skills to help my clients break down their situations, to help them understand what's
I don't
going
know.
on.
Whatever. I don't want to take away this guy's power. All the power to him. It's not my intention ever. And I don't want to like get like too trolly. As much as it would be a fucking. I think if we were with someone who like understood the meme, it would probably be a good time. I just don't want to like. I don't want to create any negativity, you know. Like I just want to keep positive vibes. But at the same time, like fuck around a bit, right? Like that's yeah. They're all being recorded all the time. That's true though, Digi. It's absolutely true. Anyway, this is something we can look into, I guess. Again, TV, we can kind of determine. Maybe listen. This is. I walked into one of those psychics again with some fucking arrogance, and I walked out pretty freaked out. So you know, it's like. You never know what the fuck is going to happen, right? You never know what's going to happen. Life throws you these curveballs. So, yeah, this is what happens. But anyway, Galentv, I think maybe that kind of wraps it up, I guess.
It was done when we started looking at that other website.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
we looked at that other website.
Yeah. It's been
Oh, that was fun, though. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do some IRL stuff though. I'm saying it in the spring because it's hard here in the winter because you can't really do anything fucking outside, and it's really annoying filming inside. My local gym, which I was looking into, does not allow me to film, so they can go fuck themselves. So I might find another goddamn gym.
New gym.
Yeah, I know, and I was like, fuck, man, like it's just things are just so much work, like you know. But anyway, yeah, thank you, Galentv, for coming around. But
thanks for having me again.
Yeah, anytime. And thank you, everyone, for sticking around as well and hanging out that have been in here. Yeah, thanks. Good to see everybody. Good to talk to everybody. Yeah, as always, take care and keep it schizo. So, peace.